É peroba do campo, nó da madeira, cainga, candeia, uma tita pereira. É madeira de vento, tombo da ribanceira. É o mistério profundo, queira ou não queira. É o vento ventando, é o fim da ladeira. É a viga, é o vão, festa da cumieira. É a chuva chovendo, é conversa ribeira das águas de março.
João Gilberto was a Brazilian guitarist, composer and singer, and was known as the father of bossa nova. His career stretched from 1949 to 2008, which is 59 years, which is a lifetime of work, basically. He pioneered using electronic amplification and recording techniques to create an intimate, quietly produced guitar and vocals combination. He worked quite a bit with fellow bossa nova person Tom Jobim, but his most famous collaboration was with the American Stan Getz on an album Getz/Gilberto, which included the track The Girl from Ipanema. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is one of two albums and, in fact, several EPs released by João Gilberto with the name João Gilberto, and it's my first time listening to this album. And I would describe this fairly confidently as bossa nova songs, given that in some ways bossa nova is the definition of bossa nova is João Gilberto and people like him. So it's acoustic guitar, which is I always struggle with what I'm going to call these kind of guitars because it's not a guitar with steel strings. It's a guitar with, for most people, it would be nylon strings for half of them and metal around some form of inner thing. This is what a lot of people would describe as a classical guitar, but this is not classical guitar music. But it's using the same kind of guitar that classical guitar music uses. That kind of guitar and singing with minimal percussion going on, not drums, other kinds of percussion are being used here. Two of the songs have co-vocalists on them, but other than that, all the tracks are just João on guitar and singing. And interestingly, I don't normally name the studio engineer who recorded an album, but on this case I will, because it was electronic music pioneer Wendy Carlos who engineered this album. So in my youth, which as you can see from looking at me is quite a long time ago now, I associated the words bossa nova with Latin ballroom dancing and big bands and it not being rock, which anything that wasn't rock was, was under suspicion. And I basically thought it was kind of fluff music. It was quite a long time later that I discovered the lightness of some Brazilian music like this and some of the Tropicalia stuff and some other stuff. And my kind of dismissive attitude to bossa nova has changed considerably since then. So the feel of this is the important thing. So the guitar playing, a lot of it is kind of plucked chords in quite interesting rhythmic manners, and then he's singing in quite a gentle way to go alongside it, and then the percussion kind of emphasizes some of the rhythms in there. And the feel is whatever the opposite of bombastic is, so maybe reserved and humble. In fact, I confess I typed into Google what are antonyms for bombastic. So by bombastic, I mean a lot of rock is very kind of in your face, and it's got this huge kind of level of ballsiness about it. And this is the opposite, but it's not in a way that means it's not stuff that you wouldn't give attention to. So sometimes I think the opposite of that kind of rock bombasticness is dream pop and ambient and stuff where it's not foreground music, it's background music or even mid-ground music. Well, this isn't that. Maybe it's kind of mid-ground music, you could say, because it doesn't necessarily command that you absolutely listen to it, but it doesn't deflect attention in the way that some music does. It's light and airy and sunny, and I'm going to use the word beautiful because it is. It's just beautifully done. It's close mic'd and intimate. It's perfect listening. perfect music for listening to on a sunny day while steering a narrowboat down a canal. And that seems like a very kind of specific situation to talk about, but it's the same kind of. I have done this. I had a narrowboat holiday one year, and it's that kind of relaxed feel that you get from being on a narrowboat is the same kind of feel as this album, and I love it. The singing's in Portuguese. I recognised, interestingly, the first song on the album, which is Águas de Marco. I'm probably pronouncing that wrongly, translated as Waters of March. And that was on an album that I reviewed previously by Tom Jobim. I've reviewed 3 of his albums. This is the first João Gilberto, and I'm looking forward to having more. The second song on this album is quite odd because it only has one word, which is endlessly repeated like a mantra. That word is undue or undui, I think. Undui. And I don't know what it means. And I looked it up, and Google doesn't know what it means. And I found somebody on the internet who had a theory about it. And his speculation was that it's meant to be the sound of a bird singing. I'm not sure about that, but it could be. He was certainly very invested in this one word, in that he keeps singing it for 6 minutes. The last track on the album includes vocals from his then wife, Mucha. I will probably have pronounced that wrong. And that, for me, elevates the beauty just even one more notch, having this interplay between the male and female voices on here. So I've not got much else to say apart from I really enjoyed it. It's simple, it's effective, it's carefree, it's light, and it's just pleasant music. So obviously I liked it. I'd love to know what you think of this album, so please do share by talking to me through the comments. That's it from me for now.
Ai, 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 Isaura, hoje eu não posso ficar. Se eu cair nos seus braços, não há despertador que me faça acordar, eu vou trabalhar.